big one because they've got to get it going.
From the midfield stripe. Hofnagel rolling to his right, being chased out of bounds by Nelson Martin and James Parker. You saw Nelson Martin over on the sidelines after Parker was out of bounds, grab Hofnagel and just hold him up.
I was afraid if he gives him any push at all, they're going right over the bench. And, you know, that's not what the game's all about. Martin grabbed him, held him up. You know, they're going to hit you as hard as they can between the white lines, but they usually will take care of you outside.
A gain of just a yard. It will be 2nd and 9, Winnipeg. Boyd wide left, James Murphy out to the right. Over the middle, Joe Poplawski makes the catch. No, they're ruling no catch. He didn't have possession of the football when he went down at the 45-yard line.
Both officials, one behind him and one in front of him, saw that ball come loose and hit the ground, so they got to give it up. Now we'll see the pass. There's Poplawski, goes right through his hands and hits the ground. Referees are right on top of it, so it's 3rd and 9.
Well, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have prevented the BC Lions from scoring in this 3rd quarter. But unfortunately for Winnipeg, they haven't been able to score either, and they trail by 21 points. Crawford takes the kick at the 5-yard line. He's been doing an excellent job of returning that football. He gets it out to about the 18 after that 49-yard boot by Bob Cameron with 3:22 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Move up or move over.
The heat is on the street beside your head. It's the Pontiac seat and the beats alive.
Introducing a breakthrough in 6-passenger luxury performance, the all-new Pontiac Bonneville.
Oh, 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 tell me, can you feel it? Tell me, can you feel it? Pontiac, the heat is on, it's on the street.
Tonight, 8 Eastern, the award-winning Hockey Night in Canada, Norris Division matchup, Detroit Red Wings and the Maple Leafs from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. The other game is an Adams Division matchup, the Buffalo Sabres and the Stanley Cup champion Canadians from the Forum in Montreal. Check local listings for game and time in your area.
All the scoring has taken place in the first half of this football game, and the BC Lions are now 18 minutes and 22 seconds away from advancing to the Western Final against either Calgary or Edmonton. Steve Armitage and Chuck Ely are in Edmonton, and they'll be bringing you that game on the CBC television network tomorrow afternoon from Commonwealth Stadium. And of course, in the East, it's a 2-game total point affair between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts. And next Sunday afternoon, we'll have the 2nd game of that Toronto-Hamilton battle on CBC television. DeWalt throwing deep. Incomplete, intended for Fernandez. It will be 2nd and 10. The Lions would certainly love to play in another Grey Cup game here on home turf. And it's going to be quite a week, Grey Cup week 1986. It begins with the kickoff party on Wednesday, November the 26th. Then on Thursday, there's the CFL Vancouver Board of Trade Grey Cup breakfast. On Friday, the Miss Grey Cup pageant and dance. On Saturday, it's the annual Grey Cup dinner. Rich Little will be the featured entertainer. And on Sunday, the Grey Cup game itself. And you'll see that here on CBC television. Hope you'll be joining us. Penalty flag. The pass incomplete, intended for Anthony Parker. Holding.
BC number 52.
Al Wilson was guilty of the holding call. I said to Al prior to the start of the ball game, well, how's the CFL's oldest player? He said, hold it. Ken Clark of Ottawa is older. And you came back and said, yeah, but you're the player.
That's right. I did say that. We had to give him a shot. Ken Clark being the kicker with the Ottawa Rough Riders. I said, Al, you're the player. You're the guy that's up front. He doesn't like to be called the oldest player.
So with 2:46 remaining in this 3rd quarter, the BC Lions are in a punting situation. The ball bounces short to Lou Pasaglia. He still gets a good kick away. he did. James Jefferson has really had his problems today, hanging onto that football on both punt return attempts and on kickoffs.
That's been about the story of their offense, too. So, I mean, he's had trouble getting them the ball, and they've had trouble keeping it. See, he has it in his hands. It just slips through. Very fortunate to get it back. Marty Palzetti almost got the football.
Well, if the Blue Bombers harbor any hopes of pulling this one out, I think it's imperative that they do something before this third quarter ends. And a man who is determined not to let them get anything going is Bob Skimp, who has moved in there in place of Walter Ballard, who has been disqualified from the football game. Roy DeWalt with 221 passing yards. Even though John Hufnagel has a better percentage this afternoon, he has not been able to accumulate the yardage of his BC counterpart. Penalty flags fly. There's movement at the line of scrimmage. The pass complete to James Murphy. He fumbles the ball. BC has recovered.
All right, rains it pours.
Procedure, Winnipeg number 63, declined, first down, 56.
Larry Crawford comes up with the fumble recovery, and the Blue Bombers have self-destructed once again.
Well, they sure have. Look, the ball is a well-thrown football. It's complete. Slater slaps it right out of his hands. There they are, all around him. 28, Larry Crawford on top of the football.
First and 10. The ball is at the 36-yard line. 1:36 remaining in the third quarter. The reverse with Bert Fernandez. He could throw. Penalty flag on the play. Fernandez with all sorts of time.
Look at this.
Throwing for the wall. Well, DeWalt is protesting, but it would have been brought back anyway. But the BC Lions with a little razzle-dazzle delighting the fans.
DeWalt will be upset. All quarterbacks like to think they're great pass receivers. And here he had a chance. Well, I'll tell you what, Fernandez threw it a mile, but he had a chance to make the catch, and he couldn't hold on. He'll be disappointed in that.
Well, on many occasions, we have looked for the unexpected from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. It's the BC Lions who have been dipping into their bag of tricks in this Western semifinal.
A couple reversals, couple Statue of Liberties, and then Fernandez throwing a pass. So they've mixed it up, and they've given them everything.
Of course, the first time these two teams met this year, Fernandez threw an 86-yard pass to Ned Armour. Parker is stopped at the 35-yard line. Back on the 26th of June, that 86-yard pass was a Fernandez throw from out of the end zone.
That, I thought, was as great a call this year as I'd seen. To be backed up, you know, in the shadow of your own goalpost and to call a reverse pass at the flanker from inside the end zone, it takes a lot of guts. But you have a lot of confidence in number 24 when he has the ball in his hands. So if Fernandez can do it, he'll get it done.
His third down kick. Bounces back towards the line of scrimmage, is picked up by Scott Flagel, and he'll lose yards. He is stopped at the 35-yard line by Ian Sinclair. 32 seconds, the time remaining. Some discussion involving Scott Flagel and the officials. Flagel undoubtedly feeling that there should have been a no yards call, but further to that ruling on no yards, which we advised you of earlier, he grabbed the ball, and number 42, Marty Palzetti, gets out of the play. He does not get the ball.
And the ball hit the ground. That was the key.
Boyd can't hang on. Keith Gooch decks in. Gooch has had an outstanding game at the corner.
Boy, he's challenging those receivers, and that's what it takes to play that position. It's the toughest position on that side of the ball to play. It's one-on-one, you with a guy with a lot of speed and ability, and you have to have the confidence to stick right with him, and he has been close to the receivers all day, and he had that key interception to open the game.
John Hufnagel operating really without his number 1 running back. Willard Reeves ejected from the ball game. He has Pat Kantner and Sean Kehoe in those running back positions. Over the middle, complete to Poplawski. He fumbles. Loose football. Winnipeg has got it. Richard Nemeth still on his feet. Inside the 40-yard line, and Hufnagel is hurt.
He took a heck of a hit. He really took a hit.
He was decked by Rick Clausen just as he threw the football. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers get a first down on the final play of the third quarter.
Let's go. Now's the time. You're feeling the heat. Moving to the beat. Get moving to the highlight. Miller highlight. You're moving, so live it. It's your turn now, so take it. Get moving to the highlight. To the highlight. Get moving to the highlight.
Miller Highlight. Cold and clear, clean and simple.
You know, when you talk about pressure on a quarterback, watch him. He'll throw the football, but watch the hit. Rick Clausen hit him, knocked him right over the top of the other linebacker, and down he goes. Now the ball goes loose. Richard Nemeth may want to play fullback after this. It's a heck of a play by him to catch it on the bounce, and now watch him run. The quarterback, a lot of times after they throw the football or hit, and they spend that next couple seconds on the ground, but he took a heck of a hit from Clausen. Watch, he comes from up high. This is what you like. Hit him up high. Get the arms around the arm. Stuman was the linebacker.
Was almost blocked into him. That's the reason Stuman came in at Hufnagel's feet. Hufnagel was able to get up and walk off to that Winnipeg bench. But Jim Zorn is going to move in there for at least one play.
Check with Hufnagel, see if he knows where he's at.
He has taken a pounding this afternoon. I've never seen this BC defensive unit as fired up as they are today.
Well, they're tough. You know, they say defense wins championships, and if that's the case, then they got a shot.
First and 10 from the 39-yard line. Zorn for Tuttle. It's deflected, incomplete. And Tuttle is very slow in getting to his feet.
Well, they have mixed everything up defensively today. This is Nelson Martin, the safety man. Now, a lot of times he'll come up and drop, but not this time. Right up the middle. He's looking right down the face of Jim Zorn as he throws this football. He looks for a hole, finds it, and here he comes. Tyrone Cruz got back and did a good job.
Second and 10, Winnipeg. Hufnagel is back in there. Hufnagel to the sidelines. James Murphy makes the catch. He goes out of bounds with a Winnipeg first down in front of Darryl Slater. And there's also a penalty flag on the play.
Major foul, face mask, BC number 4. First.
He grabbed Perry Tuttle's face mask, I believe, as he went by Nelson Martin.
Well, Don Matthews will be keeping an anxious eye on that scoreboard clock for the rest of this ball game. His team leading by a 21-0 margin. The deepest penetration the Blue Bombers have made in the football game.
You know, you can score 3 touchdowns in 15 minutes, so it's not out of reach, but I think to be realistic about it, they need the first one right now. They've got to get that 0 off the board.
Boyd goes wide to the left. The crowd noise has created the problems for John Hufnagel. He was unable to call his play at the line of scrimmage. They refer to the fans under the dome as being the 13th man, and they can definitely cause problems. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Perry Tuttle. 14:11 is the time remaining. And as you said, Ron, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers could get back in this ball game. They needed to put something on the board on this drive.
Just a quick sprint. You see Tuttle got an inside release, which means he's going to run a straight line now. If you get inside that defensive back, you just run. Nobody behind him. Tuttle makes the catch for the touchdown. So they make this. Kennard can put this through. We got ourselves a game.
Kennard with the point after. It's now 21-7. Perry Tuttle, the piano man, as he is nicknamed, with the major for Winnipeg, and we'll be back with the Blue Bomber kickoff after this.
Explosive, shocking, a sweeping saga that dares to tell it all.
People see the Kensington name on those little wreaths and boxes, and they think our lives are so glamorous.
The power.
Help! They're trying to kill me!
The passion.
I certainly hope so.
The produce.
Just trying to figure out how 37 tons of raisins could have accidentally fallen on someone.
Fresno. The 5-part saga begins Sunday on CBC television.
For the next 2 weekends, Sports Weekend continues its exclusive coverage of a proud Canadian tradition. It's the Royal Winter Fair, the largest agricultural exhibition in the world, from Toronto. That's for the next 2 weekends, exclusively on Sports Weekend.
Just a quick sprint to the left. Tuttle just gets inside his defender and runs as far as he can and as fast as he can. Upnagel leads him, and it's 7 points.
The 9th touchdown of the year for Perry Tuttle, a former All-American at Clemson. Arriving in Winnipeg this year to pass his spare time, he took piano lessons and apparently is quite proficient at tinkling the old ivories. Trevor Kennard kicking off. Crawford takes it at the 18-yard line. And he works his way out to the 35.
Well, the Bombers now need the big play from the defense. They would love to get a turnover right now while they've got a little bit of momentum going, maybe get that next touchdown, and then anything can happen.
.14:06 is the time remaining. Ball just shy of the 35-yard line. On to Parker, but James West is there to straighten him up. And there's another injured player. Vernon Paul is down. He was hurt.
It's almost like James West was in the backfield that time. Boy, Vernon Paul's having a lot of problems.
Paul in a great deal of pain as trainer Ross Hodgkinson goes out there. James West was into that backfield so quickly, making the tackle on Anthony Parker. Vernon Paul, primarily a backup throughout the course of the season, as the Bombers opted to go with 4 import linebackers.
What they did was take Stan Mikowitz and move him down and take West from his outside linebacker position, and the way he comes through when he blocks down, it looks like he must have been in the huddle calling the play. See Blaine block down on Mikowitz, and bang, James West is right into the backfield.
And right up at the top of the screen, you might see Vern Paul get hit as he tries to get into the play. You see him go down just at the top of the screen, number 74. So now Ty Jones is pressed back into service, despite the fact that he limps onto the playing field.
Well, we said earlier, Don, that injuries, you know, you got to wind up and go now. There's no sense saving it for tomorrow.
Now we have an opportunity. A reminder that this program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use of our audience. Any broadcast, transmission, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited. A strange injury to Vernon Paul in that he was coming in from the backside, and it almost appeared as though John Henry White got knocked into him and hit him down low and hit him in the back of the legs. But Paul was certainly in considerable pain as he went down. The announced attendance this afternoon, 40,381. A disappointing crowd. Many have been attempting to analyze why there was not a full house. Some suggested the fact that the teams were meeting for the third consecutive week. Others said because of a Saturday afternoon date when some people were still at work. And others said that there was anticipation of the television blackout being lifted. Vernon Paul being assisted off to that Winnipeg bench. So now Ty Jones comes back in. Tracy Mack is back in there. Delbert Fowler and James West, the other Winnipeg linebacker. And hit screen to Mervyn Fernandez trying to get outside. This time he won't escape as Delbert Fowler is over to help out Roy Bennett. Well, they are going to take a look at his left leg, and it appears they are looking at the ankle, although the initial reaction was that it might have been a knee.
Went down, you immediately think knee on artificial turf. But it looked like somebody stepped on him, and I think it was Jan Carinci was blocking somebody else and just happened to step on him.
It's a punting situation for the BC Lions with 13-12 remaining. 21-7 is the score. So the Winnipeg defensive unit did its job. Now it'll be up to the offense to try and get things moving again. The ball is fumbled. Picked up by BC. Jamie Bulis was there. And James Jefferson ran right past that football, but he did touch it. And the Lions take over.
The person next door. Around here we know our game. Play to win 'cause we're keeping score. And our beer around here is OB. OB, my friend. You know our beer around here is OB.
Around here, our beer is OV.
Sports for all the excitement of Grey Cup 86. Saturday, November 29th, we'll have the parade live from Vancouver. I'll be in Vancouver as we anchor Sports Weekend live from under the dome. Then, of course, Sunday afternoon, November 30th, it is Grey Cup 86. We will have a special 90-minute pregame show followed by the game itself. As usual, for the best in sports, the best in Canadian football, CBC Sports is the place to be.
Majority of fans here at BC Place Stadium. That was Darrell Sampson attempting to field that third down punt on the run. He deflected it, and the BC Lions take over, and 4 turnovers now. And rather than get the ball close to midfield, the BC Lions retain possession with 12:50 remaining. Movement at the line of scrimmage, penalty flags all over the place.
Well, that should be illegal procedure on Roy DeWalt for backing out from the center without the ball. You know, you can shift to the shotgun if you don't put your hands under the center. Once you put those hands under, you can't come out of there without the football. Well, as you said, Don, the defense did their job. Shut them down in 2 plays. They had the opportunity to have the ball at midfield. And another miscue on special teams.
Vernon Paul is having that left ankle retaped. Noticed earlier he was walking on those sidelines, putting some weight on that foot. Hand off to Anthony Carter trying to get outside. It won't work as James West is there. He has really played a strong game defensively for Winnipeg.
He's been everywhere. He's been the one real strong player, I think, defensively for the Bombers. But what we see is number 35, Tyrone Jones. If he will keep that angle right there and not let the ball carrier outside, you have a chance. So watch him. Tyrone Jones gets deep into the backfield, doesn't allow himself to be blocked in. That forces Parker to give ground, and West is there to make the tackle.
2nd and 19 from the shotgun. Roy to Wolf. escapes the initial pressure, but again, James West was there to make the final hit with help from Tracy Mack. There's also a penalty flag in the play. I think this will be holding against BC.
Holding. BC number 20.
John Henry White is the man detected holding by the officials. So the Bombers get another opportunity.
Well, we'll see John Henry White right in the middle of the screen. He's got a pretty good hold on Tyrone Jones. Forces him to scramble out of there. People thought there should have been a roughing call on Tracy Mack. He came across him. Don't think he really hit him. Just kind of rolled across him.
This time James Jefferson goes back. He's the only punt returner back. Takes the ball at the 8-yard line. Still on his feet, trying to get to the outside, and returns it to the 21, where he's stopped by John Elmer.
Well, they got the ball back in 2 plays, but it cost them 30 yards. And you see Cal Murphy swinging that hand around. That means, come on, John, let's hurry up. We're running out of time.
Well, James Jefferson actually did a pretty good job of picking up 12 yards on this return following the 44-yard boot by Lou Pasaglia, but he had to do a lot of running to get it.
Sure did, because they had to block. They were trying to block that kid, so he doesn't have any help at all back there.
Well, the Bombers have the type of offense that is certainly capable of striking quickly. Hufnagel to Perry Tuttle, out to the 41-yard line.
Well, they got those great receivers. You know, they're excellent for receivers, and they can move the football in a hurry. So they'll go to that hurry-up offense as Cal Murphy was signaling to John Hufnagel, let's get it going.
And the BC Lions aren't in any rush to get back into their defensive sets. Hufnagel trying to get to the outside to get a pass away. Now he decides to run with the ball and will be very close to a first down out to the 48-yard line.
Well, you have to give the linebackers of the BC Lions a lot of credit for staying deep. Allow Hufnagel to run, but don't come up to make the tackle and have him throw it over your head. They'll let Hufnagel run for 7 yards.
Linebacker coach Fred Glick talking to Rob Prodanovic and the other members of that defensive crew as to what he wants them to do the next time they're on the field. 10:32 is the time remaining. 2nd and 3, Winnipeg. The pitch to Perry Tuttle on the reverse. Tuttle gets the first down out to the 54.
Did a good job of running just to get that first down. Looked like the BC Lions were expecting it. They had a lot of orange jerseys out there, but somehow Tuttle twisted and turned and got it.
Walter Ballard disqualified for that altercation with Willard Reeves, has changed into civilian clothes and is at that BC bench. Hufnagel dumping it off to Sean Kehoe. This time Kehoe tucks the ball away. You may recall in the first quarter, carried that